Minister, we are all watching this morning and listening to Rebecca Carter, who, as you know, is a 18-year-old student from Wexford who completed her leaving this year, hoping to get points to do veterinary in UCD. When Rebecca received her results in August, she was just short in the first and second round offers and sought a recheck of her papers. In that review, it was revealed that the examiner had wrongly added up her marks. And had that error not occurred, Rebecca would have got a higher grade and she would have exceeded the points required and being offered a place. However, the State Examination Commission decided not to formally recheck her results before mid-October, thereby costing her that place that she had earned in university. The Exam Commission says that any alleged error can only be corrected through the formal appeals process and that the error could not be dealt with through a rectification process. Extraordinary Minister, if the totting up error had appeared on the front cover of the exam script, it would have been rectified outside the normal appeals process, but because it happened inside the paper, it had to be dealt with through the formal system. You couldn't actually make it up. So Rebecca decided she wasn't going to allow such absurd bureaucracy to waste her life, and she took a case and won yesterday, and she should be commended for shining a light on this system. The case, though, has highlighted a number of very serious deficiencies in our exam marking process. If the State Exams Commission Minister cannot decide on an appeal prior to the allocation of places in that academic year for which people are sitting their leaving, the system is clearly unfit for purpose. Brian Mooney on RTE this morning, who is very respected in this area, has said that the correctors are actually totting up marks by using their own pens and pencils. They don't even have IT available to them to do that process. And Deputy Byrne has for some time pointed out the inadequacies of the resources being allocated to the marking process for both leaving and junior certificate exams. It was shown yesterday, Minister, during the court hearing, that 1,700 examiners marked 390,000 papers in 54 days. With that kind of pressure, and that kind of pressure on markers, mistakes will be made. But as we have seen in Rebecca's case, mistakes interfere with people's futures. Deputy Byrne has pointed out for some time a major resource issue in terms of recruiting examiners, yet Minister Bruton continued to stick his head in the sand. Minister, what are the government's plans to review this system and review the outcome of that case yesterday? What does it say about our state exam marking that a student has to go to the High Court to get the place that she has worked hard for in university awarded to her in this year? And Minister, is the government aware of any other cases, such as Rebecca's case, where errors in the process have cost places?
Thank you. Minister,
we all smiled at Rebecca, but where were we last August when Rebecca was in tears because she missed out on her place? Where were we when she was told that she shouldn't have missed that place, but she wouldn't have her college place until this time 12 months? We smiled because Rebecca had to go to the High Court to smile. She had to actually go that far, spend that kind of money to get her right, something that she had earned. Minister, you have announced a review. What is the timeline for that review? Who will carry out the review? Will it be outsiders? Will it be people that will actually bring some sort of order to the system and give clarity, most importantly, to the next batch of Leaving Cert students, the 60,000 who will sit it next year, that none of them will fall into the trap or fall into the case that Rebecca fell in? We absolutely respect that mistakes can be made and that these things happen, but you cannot allow that to happen. There needs to be checks. There needs to be extra checks when you're dealing with people's futures, particularly at that young age in life, when you're dealing with people who have worked incredibly hard to achieve an ambition, and that ambition is denied to them because of error. That shouldn't be stood over. That cannot be stood over. And I know you want to give that reassurance to the 60,000 to do next year's leaving that it will not happen again.
Thank you, Deputy Minister.